Hello and welcome everyone again to tonight's episode of Into the Black, where a group of video game developers in Vancouver get together to play Apathetic Space, which is of course a brand new science fiction tabletop role-playing system developed by moi. And this is the first campaign in the system, and there's a bunch of problems with it, so we're working on it now. So,
you know, it's been like 9 months. Can you really call it brand new?
Yeah, you get until 1 year. 1 year.
Excellent
1 year? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
I feel like I've heard that.
Who would like to give us a quick recap of what happened last time?
I nominate him.
Yeah, I can do the recap there for you. So, while all these guys were off bumbling on some adventure, Anzo was going and taking care of some personal business. He got contacted by the news network lady named Alice, who said that she wanted to meet for an interview. So Anzo headed up to the docking bay area and found himself face to face with an interesting looking spindly robot, which was very sort of decently armed anyway. Not wanting to cause any sort of strange hostilities, Anzo went along with it and found himself in a small room armed with a very large array of cameras and this news network lady who gave a sort of brief interview to Anzo, and where he sort of recounted his escapades in traveling to and from the fallen system, trying to rescue Percy, and all of the details of them getting to where they currently were. Anzo very specifically left out a bunch of things, such as the black substance being released into the galaxy, and some of the more intricate details of things related to that. But in the sort of grand scheme of things, she did agree to a sort of deal where she would get Anzo and co out of their current situation on a stealth ship some hours from that meeting, and they would make sure that the present party was at least partially in control of the spread of information about what happened. So Anzo did all that. Meanwhile, the rest of the party was being interrogated and things when they went to try to grab Porter from the hospital. There was a lot of sort of back and forth about how Sis was some sort of crazy supervillain who had stolen crazy tons of money and was doing illegal things on Fallen, and so eventually the party essentially decided to bring her in with the help of the local authorities. And so in a convoluted series of radios being jammed and us trying to escape onto the stealth ship, we eventually sort of all converged right before the stealth ship was set to escape with Sis and a couple of us on it, and we managed to subdue Sis before the ship left and would have been blown to smithereens by the local authorities, leaving us all sort of looking like big ol' heroes to the locals, Sis in custody, and us trying to negotiate ourselves into a nice bit of payment for this.
Excellent. I think that covered just about all the craziness that happened.
I got to throw an EMP grenade.
Yes, you did.
That's the only difference.
Oh yeah, Anzo and Percy had like a crazy awesome like buddy cop shootout with a bunch of robots, and that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Exactly. Okay, so yes, Carmine is gone today, probably for the whole session.
Piercy.
Yep. It's gonna be amazing how quiet Percy is this session.
We'll just say he's drunk and we'll beat him up or something. Lock him in a room.
I pistol whipped him a bunch.
Yeah. Everyone gets one.
Okay. So we will begin this session where we left off, which was up on one of the top decks.
Number 4.
Basically, Spade security forces have just a few minutes ago finished hauling off the mech suit of Sis off down the stairs some other direction, and you guys have all just kind of complied once they swarmed in, kind of like a SWAT team, and they kind of just got the stuff and they left, and seemed to just leave you folks behind to tend to your own business. So you guys were right outside the door to the. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
And then he was just released by Lieutenant Smoke.
Yes. Yeah. So you guys were just outside the little landing bay area. Haven't gone inside yet, and yes, Kamir is now a free man.
Free Dingar.
Free Dingar. Yes. So I think we left off. You were just heading up the stairs, right, to go and meet up with your buddies. So unless you're doing anything else, we'll just assume you're ascending. 12 or so.
Just the thing I told you I would have told Smoke before I left, and
Yep.
then heading up.
Okay.
I turn around and punch Percy in the face.
You beat me to it, man.
Just for kick, go ahead and roll a brawl. I just
Yeah,
want
sure.
to see what
Sure.
a brawling would look like.
Sure, why not? 17.
Yep. He's kind of standing there with his hands on his hips, looking cool, like he just made the arrest, and you knock him down a peg.
May
2 feet. To the ground.
I add in a little piece of information here? I would like to be, because I tried to shoot at the grenade you were throwing at. It says to blow it up early. So I would be twirling my guns to put them back in their holster. I'd like his punch to knock him back into my pistol whip and knock him unconscious.
Alright, give me a performance
Okay.
check. Yeah.
See if you just drop your.
Aw. That's gonna be a 1.
A 1?
Not natural.
Okay, a not natural 1. Alright, so you're trying to do a cool gunslinger pistol trick, and your pistol goes flying off, and it hits Percy in the head. And between these two concussive shots to the head, wee Percy is now on the ground.
I'll sling over my shoulder.
Okay, very well.
What was that for?
He said something kind of unsavory when we were fighting the robots back there. You weren't there for it.
Yeah, I heard what happened. I'll kind of just scuttle off to go grab my gun.
Okay. You retrieve your gun.
Thanks for stopping her, I guess.
Thanks for the heads up. What tipped you guys off?
Well, the Spade Security Force came and found us at the hospital.
Figured.
And then they took us back to the HQ. We
Figured.
met a detective named Lieutenant Smoke, who which was quite refreshing. And then they said that Sis had a bounty or sorts on her head.
Figured.
She apparently had stolen over 2 billion credits.
Figured.
But
Speaking of everything that happened, we should probably go check on our friend.
Which one?
Kamir was being held there as well. We should
Maybe
go
we should
and
stay behind.
Figured.
start heading towards the stairwell.
Well, wait, hang on. So, what we just did here was a great service for this security force. Did you guys negotiate some sort of deal here where we get some sort of payment for this or anything like that?
I believe our payment was that we aren't killed.
We're not fugitives because we were traveling with her from...
Right. See now, kids. My line of profession, you never work for free.
I would be more than willing next time we are held as hostage to switch places with you.
Fair point.
Alright.
So we'll see what comes of all that.
Wait, hang on. You said there was a bounty for her capture?
Well, I assume a bounty of something.
All right. Can I like check in, like look in some sort of online database thing, some sort of bounty posting?
Yes, you can connect to the station. The station's point.
Very good. I'm gonna search for a bounty on Sis.
Okay. History or research check.
Sure.
Okay.
10.
Okay. You don't find any mention of this.
Okay. Well, I'll ask someone when I see them.
Okay. You're a pretty athletic guy. I'd say that you've kind of been sprinting up the stairs this whole time, giving your legs a stretch after being confined in that little room. And yeah, you've met up with. You're jogging up to them now.
I see these guys. I see Percy slung up on his shoulder, and I'm like, oh man, you beat me to it.
Sorry. I mean, you can get a shot on him if you want. He's laying right here.
I poke him a bit, and then I back up.
There's drool coming out of his mouth a little bit.
Huh. So? Well,
So I assume that... Well, I think you know that we ended up capturing Sis.
yep, I could see everything.
That's good to know.
What did they say when they let you go?
They said that they didn't expect you guys to go through with it, and that it's done now, so you can go.
So what was this about a ship?
Yes, so the man slung over your shoulder had negotiated us a ship.
Well, great. What's the catch?
Didn't you said about the TV news reporter shifting to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you say you had a ship as well waiting for us?
Yeah, right over here in this docking bay, there's actually a shuttle that is willing to take us to a stealth ship that would let us leave, like whenever now.
They mentioned it. They knew about it.
Oh, they knew. Oh.
They would have shot us down or tried to.
Yeah.
If we would have tried to escape with this.
Figured.
But I think it should be okay now.
I mean, if we're on the up and up here with all these folks, I vote that, well, we have the option to leave with them. And we will get handsomely rewarded for our information. And we would get a ride back to the core worlds with them. Or we can try to negotiate for whatever ship this guy said that we were apparently going to get.
It's a very nice ship. Pull up the schematics again.
Is there anyone around us? Any guards or anything at this point?
No, this deck is pretty empty.
All right. Well, why don't we go talk to some sort of officer and see what we can get out of this.
Just a point to consider though. I know we might be okay in their books now after what we've done, but still feels a little shady getting boons from them, especially if we are to travel out. They might not have that great a name, or
Fair.
they might others might associate us with them, which we might not want.
That's a good point. You think we should just get out of here then? You have the option.
I don't know. It's for everyone to decide together.
I mean-
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we're all back together now, essentially. So we have the option to leave. Like, Spade won't be stopping us because, we're buddies with them now, and we again have a free ride to the core worlds.
It would be nice to have our own ship though, and I was thinking,
It would be, but we will be getting paid again for this information, so we will have the option to potentially purchase our own.
Sounds like we have the opportunity to get paid twice. My
That
math
is-
adds up here for
That's
us.
a good point.
even if we don't take the ship, we can definitely take the money. There's
Yes.
there's no name on a credit
It's true.
token, whatever.
Yeah, I'd say, since we've, again, don't work for free. We've done a service here. We get paid for it. We bounce.
I was also thinking maybe we can try talking with Porter and seeing if we can get the Lady Luck or venture out together with him. That's an opportunity too. Possibility.
I don't. Well,
He's
I mean, how's he
going-
doing?
He's not doing the best, but apparently in, I think they said 2 days, he's supposed to be transferred to our ship.
I don't think the news ship's gonna be there for that long. That's the thing. We've got a small window here.
Well, that just tells me that they're probably going to be preparing the ship over the course of those days, and we still need to, with the new ship, we still need to put weapons and bays in there as well.
Well, we wouldn't be getting the news ship. It would just be simply transporting us to the core worlds.
It won't be ours.
It's just a ticket out of here. When the situation was a little...
for the other ship.
Yeah, when the situation was a little more dire, it was a good way to maybe get out. But now that things have calmed down a bit, it's not as, not as pressing.
The news ship, not the new ship.
Yeah, news. Yeah.
Sorry, you should change your accent sometime.
Oh. To what?
I don't know, something easier to understand.
Click. Russian accent?
What?
This old Russian from back on Terra.
I've never been to Terra.
This okay? Is this better or worse?
That's worse.
Worse. All right, back to the way it was.
We'll see what chips we can find later.
Right.
The Spade people do know about the new ship, so I don't know if you want to let them know or not.
Well, again, if we're on the up and up now, there's no real harm in them finding out, because I think they were only going to blow it out of the sky because Sis was going to be escaping on it. Right, so.
I don't think I'd really want to risk that.
Maybe if we tell them that they were about to get blown to smithereens, they'd want to stay for a little bit longer.
Well, and we are kind of their story, so if we're staying for a little longer, they'd be running away with nothing.
Yeah. How much do they know about our story, though?
I told them basically a bare amount of information. Actually, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna do a double check and make sure there's no more little bugs on my arm or around here or something.
Okay. The investigation.
Sure. Hey, can you guys all help me check for bugs, check for microphones.
Cool. I'll help him
Microphones. Okay.
bat him
Yeah,
down a bit.
said
Maybe
microphones.
encourage him.
So okay, so what is that?
D6 extra.
Okay. I got a 19.
17.
Okay.
Lower them then.
Yeah. You all take a minute and kind of scan them over, and you don't find any more of those little bugs on them.
Alright, well, why don't we step into a side room? Is there like a small storage room around here we can just sort of slip into?
Yeah. You're at the entrance to the docking bay, and yeah, there's also some empty. You're up on the second floor up here, and
Yep.
it's mostly abandoned up here,
Okay.
very much so.
Well, still don't want any cameras picking up some sort of potentially sensitive conversation. So let's I'll just pull the gang into like a storage room or something.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you find an old abandoned storeroom and pull in there.
Perfect. Alright, so here's the thing. I'll let them know basically the bare minimum that I could without really touching into the black stuff too much. So they don't know about the samples that we sent back. They don't know that we missed them. They don't know the extent of all of the asteroid shenanigans that was going on. And, well, again, I only sort of provided the most bare information, so they're missing some important things. All they really know is that we were there, we escaped, and the crew of the Lady Luck helped us out.
Okay.
Alright. It's not too bad. So they'd still be wanting to hear more from us.
Exactly.
I think it's worth a shot, seeing if they wait.
Yeah, agreed. I can say that we were in a bit of a dire situation that has now been diffused, so we may have more time. I can send off that message now. And so yeah, I'll open up my my comm to whatever that relay was that I was sending to before, and I'll say, situation has been averted. No longer a crisis. We need a bit more time on the station to settle our affairs.
Okay, alright, you send that message off?
Yep.
All good.
Well, we still have, the hotel room, and I'm not sure if we just have to wait to be contacted or not regarding the ship.
Well, what about this smoke fella? Is he someone that we can contact to see what's going on with our affairs, or?
I think the less that we have to deal with smoke is probably better.
Fair enough.
I don't think he's that against us. I left him in an amicable situation, especially after we kind of helped them out.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would have much control over the finances. He was more so an investigator,
Okay.
private eye on the case.
Right. All right.
But,
Well, I mean, what about all that business you guys were doing while I was busy? Whatever happened to all that? Where'd you leave off with everyone?
Well, he signed the document in exchange for an agreement with, to get a ship and credits.
You got a copy of that agreement somewhere?
No.
God, you people have a lot to learn about business. All right. Well, we should go track that down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
We can use what we just did here as good leverage to say, hey, let's get a bit of a payout here.
who would we talk to though?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if smoke isn't a good lead for that, then go down to the station. I guess I don't know who is actually going to be paying us out.
I don't think anyone's gonna listen to us. The only person they're gonna listen to is the person on your shoulder.
What sort of sway does he have?
He has a bounty on his head. He had that gold membership card, if you remember.
Figures. All right. Well,
more just trying to see if the consul Stephenson is good on his word.
all right. Well, is there a way that we can contact him directly?
I doubt it.
Where's his office?
It's in Spade HQ.
Well, should we drop this guy back off in the hotel and head down there?
Probably need him with us.
Yeah, just for his face, even maybe just to show it as an entry pass.
They might actually be even more inclined to let us in his current state.
Yeah.
Maybe. He hasn't had the best of luck with diplomatic inquiries.
Fair. Well, worth a shot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If we have the chance to get paid, might as well take it instead of just sitting around. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are heading down to Spade HQ?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Don't fucking smile at us.
No, I mean, that's a great idea. That's really good. That's really good and smart. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you guys start making the long walk down to the base. Some of you feel like you've gone up and down the stairs many times today. But yeah, you guys slowly but surely work your way all the way down to the 13th floor, which ends in the staircase kind of finally coming to an end, and you're at the entrance of Spade HQ, and it just kind of surrounds the base of the staircase here. And there are the two of the Spade security forces standing by the entrance. And one of them steps forward. State your business.
Hello, sir. We were just instrumental in the capturing of a dangerous fugitive, and we've got some documents stating that we have some payment.
Let's see these docs.
Yeah, they're in the system. They were signed, but we don't have a copy.
What's your business here?
I just told you, we're looking for payment.
If possible, we'd like to speak with Consul Stephenson.
We concluded business with them not long ago.
1 minute.
Thank you.
And he walks back to his companion there, and there's kind of tapping away on their kind of armored tech tool displays that they have.
Maybe it would have been better just to wait and hear about the ship.
Minute goes by, they're still discussing, looking at things. Another minute, 5 minutes has passed.
Should I just
Can-
go?
go ahead.
Should I just go ask if we should come back later?
Maybe.
All right, somebody hold this.
I'll come along with. Okay, sure.
All right.
Okay, I'll come along with you.
Okay, and yeah, so I'll walk up and say, look, should we just come back later? Is there some paperwork to be done still, or what's the deal?
I messaged Stephenson, waiting for a response.
Fair enough. Well, listen, why don't you just contact me directly when you have an answer, and we can come back later.
Can do that.
All right, I give him any sort of contact information that I have.
Okay, send it across,
All right.
and should be good.
Okay, so let's head back up.
Okay. Alright.
Stairs.
Alright. So yeah, now where are you guys headed?
Maybe use a little bit of repairing breather, maybe.
It's not a bad idea. Do we have a workbench somewhere? Anything like that?
Maybe in our room, in the Novotel, potentially.
We should probably at least let Sleeping Beauty get his rest.
He's
Oh,
already
no.
getting his rest.
Well, could use a bed. I think being slung over a shoulder isn't really the best for your back, if you know what I mean.
Kind of poke at some gears and stuff. I think I'll be okay. I haven't had to carry multiple people though, so I'd like to save some room for whoever's gonna be next.
Let's head back to the room.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys ascend the stairs, back to the Novotel, go back to your room, and yeah. Yeah. You get there, no problem. Throw Percy on a bed somewhere, and yeah, you're there. You don't really have the scrap metal here to do repairs per se. Like as far as spare scrap metal.
Yeah, I believe I can still do repairs if armor points are below half.
Correct.
0.
0.
I am below half.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
I think Percy is probably also below half.
Yeah. So
See where you're going, complaining.
Yeah.
That's just
I
usual.
believe it
things.
was DC 15.
Yes. So the DC changes depending on where you're
Yeah.
at. Right now you're in a hotel room.
Yeah. With just my own gears.
So he's
Right.
comfortable and he's got no worries in the world.
So I've got advantage to do checks on things that I've built, which I think before we've included my armor in that. So if I can like help him by doing some sort of diagnostic or something.
Sorry, advantage on which one?
On checks to things that I've built, which we've included in
What
my
kind of
armor.
checks?
I think engineering checks.
Okay.
So like if I can do some sort of like diagnostic or something to say like, hey, this is wrong, or this would be an easy fix or something.
Yeah. This is this is much more of the repairing.
Yeah.
However, more than engineering, though.
Okay.
Yeah. There's an important distinction between the engineering, which is the building and the optimizing of things, and repairing, which is more like salvaging and patch jobs and things like that.
Putting them back
Metal on
together.
metal.
Yeah. So you're using crude repairs?
Yes, I believe that would be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alternatively, patch job.
You need scrap metal for back job, though, right?
Not for the first use, I believe.
Alright.
Whichever you think would be most appropriate.
Maybe both.
Yeah, so go ahead and make some repair checks here.
19,
Okay, that's a hit.
15, 9,
Miss.
11,
Miss.
and 7.
Miss. Okay, so you patch up a couple people. You can choose.
Patch up you and you as well.
Does that just give us full? Or
No.
how do you have to roll?
I believe it's just 1d4 or 2d4.
If you're using patch job, this is 3d4.
3d4.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you,
That's enough.
I can repair it past half, but so that's 9 for you,
Okay.
and then for you, 4, 8.
All right, solid.
Okay. So yeah, you guys spend some time kind of basically taking all the beat up armor. Basically, the patch job is just when you're below half armor like this, you're just taking all your armor that's been messed up and destroyed. And you're basically kind of like re-welding it back into
Yeah.
place and putting some scraps back.
That's why you always carry a portable welder with you.
Since I'm at 0 armor, I'm taking a wrecked armor class. If I just remove it for now, would I be at my base again?
Correct.
So then I'll remove it for now.
Okay.
Remove my armor for now.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
We should see if we can find some sort of armor shop around here. I'll look up a directory.
Okay. Yeah, you've on your tech tool you still have the kind of one they had before. If you guys go down one deck down to deck 7, there are some kind of no-name shops there where
Perfect.
you could potentially get some stuff.
Also, I want to call up a bounty board and see if there's any like wanted fugitives on the station.
Okay. Yeah, you pull up. You can. Roll a research check.
14.
Researches are generally used if when you're trying to design new things and you're trying to figure out materials, but also when you're trying to sift through the massive amounts of information that are publicly available. So yes, and what did you roll?
14.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's easy enough for you to find a spade, basically bounty board.
Excellent.
And yeah, there's a list of about 8 different criminals there.
Perfect. I'll download the list.
Okay, very good.
I asked Arva, would you be able to look at my armor later, or would that be something that would not be possible today? We can try looking around for some resources and stuff too.
I could take a look later, but looks just pretty beat up. I'm not sure. There's not too much I can salvage on it. It might be better to just make you something new, if I can.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, hey, I pulled up the directory and there's a couple scrap dealers down one deck. So why don't we go down there and check what they got?
Can do that. I also want to try to be figuring out how to put some of these things together. I'm pointing at the what is it here? Pointing at the shock stick, the gravity hammer, and my wrench.
Okay.
What about them?
I just said try to figure out how to somehow put them together.
You got a welder, don't you?
Better way.
Alright, so you guys head out of the Novotel, leaving Percy to catch some disease.
Is there like some paper or something that we could leave a note?
What's paper?
There's no paper.
We'll just send him a
Is
message.
there
from
a
his tech
Bible
tool.
in
You
the
could
dresser
you
stand?
could send him a message. God has been forsaken in this galaxy. You could send him a message or do something to the wall or something.
Write something in blood.
There's
Invisible ink.
no.
Yeah, I guess I'll just send him a message. Don't leave. Tell us when you're awake.
Okay. Alright.
Hi. We made it off. Sorry we missed you.
Alright. So yeah, you guys. Let's see here. Yeah. You guys head out and you're going down to the kind of like armor shop down there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you head down one deck to the 7th deck, and yeah, there's almost looks like a kind of a Chinatown-esque sort of a market here, where there's a bunch of like kind of no-name shops that all kind of it's weird, they almost all seem like mom and pop type shops, except they're really kind of run down. There's a couple, and one that stands out. It's called the Son of Rag, and that is the one that you found when you searched for armor. It's tagged as an armor shop.
Are there any weapon shops around here as well?
That shop also shows up when you search for weapons.
So
there's
convenient.
also Tech World, where you've been to before, up
Right.
a floor,
Right.
which is more of gadgets and things, but
And they're too expensive anyway.
yeah,
We haven't gotten paid yet.
correct.
Deck world. Deck world.
Okay, so yeah, you guys go up and yeah, Son of Rag is written over the top in kind of AC/DC style black and red font. And you guys enter, and there's like rock music blaring out of some really fuzzy speakers overhead. You guys come in. It's fairly like dimly lit store, but you can see they've got no. They have a couple stands with some armor on display that are all chained to the ground, so that you couldn't run off with them. And most of their wares are back behind the counter. Yeah, as you approach the counter, there is a Tulsk standing there with shaggy black hair.
I walk up and say, hey bro, my pal needs some new threads, you dig?
Yeah. What you need?
Hey, had this gray keep before. It's pretty busted, so something along the same lines, or maybe some repair material for this. What you've got?
Yeah, we can fix it here. You got creds, you buy something better.
What options you got?
You'd like the gray keep, we can give you a little something better than that black keep. Next step up.
How much would that run me? I don't want to
30,000.
What other things you got?
You got money or not?
Not at the moment, but might be giving it a job soon. So,
Not repairing nothing for free.
how much would the repair cost then? For now, maybe I can come back later when I have the money for new stuff.
Depends how beat up it is.
I show him the armor I removed.
800 credits. Fix it up. Good as new. Well, good as great you can get anyhow.
It's been of good use to me for some time now. Well, how much would half a repair cost?
Let's see. Half of 800 is 400.
Checked his mathy. It works.
Well, let me think about it. Why don't you deal with my friends for a bit?
Alright. What do you got? Hopefully credits.
I have no credits. I don't need anything, sir.
Get out of here.
Okay.
What kind of rifle mods you got?
What, depends what kind of rifle. You talking, projectile or energy?
Well, I'll take my void beam off my back. Got this bad boy. It's thermal. Pretty reliable, but yeah.
Alright. Well, we, see this one of them, yeah. Well, sure. Pretty common here. We got, let's see.
I'd like to actually go out and just kind of hang out towards
Okay.
the thing and just kind of lean up against the outside, just
I
kind of check
I
out
join you
what's
as
going
well
on.
when I see you going out.
Okay, cool.
I'll join you.
You guys are up front, holding down. Printing on front and back was the worst idea I've ever had. Ever.
I'll just be examining probably the nicest piece of armor that's there.
Okay.
Do you have money?
What do you think?
No?
No?
Potentially, I don't know. Maybe they gave you some money on the thing for being the new.
I had to buy you.
Yeah, those lawnmower units are expensive.
Yeah, for some reason. You were in the bargain bin.
Assassin crossed out.
Hey, I wrote that in Sharpie, okay? It's legit as it gets.
Yeah, I think I got a scope and a amplifier that'll both work on that.
One of those run.
Let's see. Scope gonna be 20K.
Okay, alright.
Got an amp for well, they make them around here, so they're pretty cheap. Get one of those for right Barthed for 6K.
6K, alright. And I'll write some notes in my tech tool on that.
Okay.
And then I've also got this this X rifle here, and I bring that out.
Ah,
I don't know if I had scope on there already, but I figured you might have something else.
interesting. Well, since they're a bit tougher to mod these things. Let's see, what do I have? we could, got a silencer kicking around for that.
Oh, alright. What do you got? What's your offer?
It's gonna be 35.
Alright. Now see, I'm a bounty hunter by profession. Currently in between jobs, but got a bunch of bounties lined up from this station. Is there anybody who's been giving you trouble lately?
Just people without creds.
I see. Well, when I cash in some bounties, you bet I'll be back.
I'm not gonna hold my breath. You gotta be the 5th bounty hunter today that's between contracts and about to score big.
Well, you see, Anzo floats in balance always gets his man. Now, whip around and walk away.
Alright. Roll intimidation check.
Sure, why not? 8.
Okay. You spin a little too hard, you spin twice around. It's more of a pirouette. And,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
that's
walk
right.
away.
That's right.
That's impressive. It's harder to do, actually.
Okay. Excellent. And were you up to anything?
Oh, they're leaving.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just looking at the armor.
Awareness checks by these two who are outside.
14.
7.
You, Albot, standing, keeping it cool outside the shop. Take a look around, and you see a little creature sprinting around in the courtyard. Yeah, you guessed it. It's a little gabbit running around on all fours, and they are kind of looking around a bit. So he kind of goes up, and he almost goes to pick someone's pocket, and then he stops, and then he runs around a little bit more. This looks like the same gabbit you talked to earlier, but most gabbits look the same, so it's difficult to say.
Not gonna do anything.
Okay.
Just kind of keep an eye on him.
Okay. You kind of watch him dart around a bit, and then he turns towards you and sees you, and then starts running towards you. Once he approaches, he kind of stops and gets back on his hind legs and is kind of clutching his hands in front of him, and he says, "Excuse me, I have something for you and your group."
You score anything big?
Score? No, message for you.
I saw you about to pickpocket that person over there.
I didn't take.
Well, I would imagine you've been trying to do that to multiple people today.
I just looked. Message for you. You want the message?
Alright, what's the message?
Wait, no, not for Percy. Where is Percy?
I almost instinctively looked to my shoulder. He's back at the hotel. We had to leave him there.
We can let him know whatever the message is and save you the trouble of running around over there.
Supposed to give to Percy important message.
How about we escort you over to the hotel and you can give it to him in person in front of us? Not an option.
Don't like.
I'll start putting my hand at my my pistol.
I'll give you message and you give Percy.
That'll do.
Sounds good.
And he just swipes something over to you guys. And you guys pull this up as the two of you are also coming out of the shop now, and still rocking out to some muffled beats. And yes, it is a message from one Spade engineer, and you.
Let's go.
It is an invitation to head down to Spade HQ and head down to their shipyard, and it is also including some schematics for ship.
Get these out here. Get these out here. All right. What do we got?
They're not pretty, but they're all I got. So.
Oh boy.
Staff bay. Okay.
Oh, it's 3 decks.
What does this say?
Yes.
Something bay?
Cargo ramp door.
Cargo bay. Yeah.
So is deck 1 the top or the bottom?
Bottom.
Bottom. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the doors. One of the doors to get in. Deck 2.
Wait, no.
With 2 cargo bays.
Here, maybe I'll just walk you guys through it. I know
Sure.
these are really shitty like blueprint.
No,
drawings,
it looks pretty cool. I'm,
No,
I'm,
yeah.
just, I'm
No,
just
I dig
super
it. I dig
excited,
it.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if we flip this just like this, so all you guys can see.
There you go.
So, so this is think of this as the bottom of the ship here.
Yeah.
Okay. Big cargo bay, the main defining feature. These are 3 big ramps that can be lowered to bring cargo in or open. I kind of messed up drawing this part. I was using pen, of course. So, yep. And this is an actual like docking door where you can dock with other
Okay.
ships and stations, if you're not landing.
Is it only on that side? There isn't one on
Correct.
the
There's only one on the port side.
All right.
There's a hallway here. These are the 2 modular bays that are configured that you guys can configure however you want. For example, the last ship you were on had that mech bay. If you remember. This is the skiff bay, so there is no little ship in here, but you can fit a ship in here.
So this is the Siberia.
Correct.
So it matches the schematics I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, is there like a door that opens to let the skip out then, or?
Yeah. So it's designed for ships that have an underwing model, meaning that the cockpit opens, you climb in over the wing, hop in, and then the ship basically will drop down out of the bottom.
Rad.
Yeah, it can probably only fit a 1-person ship in there, but maybe if you get a really tight 2-person one. So that's that. I forgot to label them all, but these are the landing gear here, and the airlock for that door. This is a little platform that lowers down to a turret that is on the belly of the ship. So
Cool.
that will lead to that. These 2 stairs both go up on the sides. Also, the bays have large doors here, so you could potentially drive a small vehicle inside to work on it. Once you come up those 2 stairs, then you're on deck 2. So you'd be coming up on the sides. The fat ends are at the top of the stairs because it's as if you're looking from a top-down view. So the things that are bigger are closer to the top.
Okay.
So you come up these stairs. These are 2 like meeting rooms, like ready rooms type things that can kind of be used however you want, but like a war room could be like one of them. This hallway leads to the bridge where there are 6 consoles. These are escape pods. There are 8 of them located right between the bridge and kind of in the center area here. They also sort of protrude out the top of the ship because they have to be able to eject. Back here is the main engineering area, which comes back. Here's the shift space generator, the drive.
CPU, life support, shields.
Yeah. Life support's down here. Shields is there.
This is
and
just the cargo
This is
from
the. Yeah, exactly. This area is empty. You can't walk here because it's just the blank
The top of that.
area of that. And this is basically your navigation computer and your sensor suite is in there.
Okay.
But we can like hook into it from one of the
Correct.
consoles.
Yeah. That's just where the actual hardware is.
This is
Right.
where if things go bad, I run there.
Furthermore, you can walk out. So this ship has 2 engines on either side that can rotate somewhat to help with being more maneuverable at the expense of being slightly less durable. So you can actually go through an airlock to get into maintenance tunnels, which are not comfortable, but you can get out there to the engines to work on them there.
And they're locked if the engines are on, I assume?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can actually go in there and not die if the engines are on?
Potentially?
You can go in there if the these are like maintenance shafts on either side. But the whole thing will be turning if the ship is like actively flying around. It is probably likely death if you're out there. There's no gravity in those parts.
Right.
So
got it. Don't go there. Foreshadowing.
If the ship is just going straight, then that's one thing. But yeah, if you're in combat doing all kinds of maneuvers, then would be a place I would not recommend being. And then if you come up these stairs, then you get more to the third deck, the crew deck. There's a galley. There are sanitization booths and a kitchen, and these are 8 living quarters. And there's basically just a little deck in the back, which is there's a view out here, and there's a view out here as well. So you guys can look out there.
Yoga mat.
Is this another turret place?
Correct. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. There's one on the top of the ship as well, and so.
So there's 2 turrets,
Correct.
And then we can attach weapons probably somewhere as well.
Yes, so those are the 2 turrets, and those turrets can hit any direction.
Up and bottom. Got it.
All 4 side directions. For this system, there's not really it's just a 4-direction system, basically. We're not doing up and down so much because it's a little too complicated.
You don't want to do angular math?
No, I don't. Nope. So a turret can hit all 4 directions. Fixed guns usually can only hit one direction.
Okay.
Gimbaled can sometimes hit like 2 directions. So these turrets can hit anywhere. Weapon points. So there are these 2 things here are meant for forward-facing weapons. These 2 guys.
These ones.
Yeah, and also there's room alongside the landing gear on each of those sides for 2 more forward-facing weapon slots.
Okay.
And on deck 1 near the side cargo ramps, there are consoles for tractor beams that are on the side to help maneuver things inside.
Okay,
Do we have tractor beams?
We don't know yet, but assuming they would be attached to.
You guys have not gotten the. Your ship has not been spec'd out yet, so yeah, it's mostly a blank slate at this point.
Right. Got it.
Yes. Oh, and there's also one more of those tractor beam consoles for the rear door. I didn't write it in there, but there is one.
Is it there? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's on
the port or starboard?
Starboard.
Okay.
So you received that, and you also all right. I already said you also received an invitation to come to Spade HQ, which you would then be led down to the shipyard to take a look at your ship and basically choose a loadout for it.
So, Carmine isn't here, but we wouldn't have knocked him unconscious if that were the case. However, we likely need him in order to get into Spade HQ.
Correct. Let's head back to the hotel and see if he's woken up.
Sprinkle some water on him, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, were we supposed to get credits as well, or just a ship?
We were supposed to get credits as well.
Said the credits were gonna take some time to move some funds around, didn't they?
I think I remember mentioning that to you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, I bound towards the hotel room.
I'm suspicious, but I'd follow.
Okay.
No, I don't actually remember the thing, but like I'm just super excited about a ship.
Head back.
Okay. All you guys head up to the hotel room. You get there, and you find that Percy's not there.
Yeah. Goddamn message.
Can we track him somehow?
No.
No.
Unless
I will send a message. Where are you?
just having some fun.
Where?
Let's go to the casino.
We got a ship. Come meet up with us.
Ah, I see. You need your pilot.
Do you want to spec out your ship? Question mark, question mark, question mark?
It's like, it says, yeah, I'll meet you there.
Careful,
Okay.
you're role playing a little too well.
Yeah. So we'll say you guys meet up on the stairs and head down to Spade HQ.
Oh, so we meet up with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was at the casino.
Of course.
Who said it?
And of course he was drinking.
Figured.
Yeah. Alright, so you guys start, you head down to Spade HQ. You meet the same guards again, who are still waiting there. You show them your invitation, and they lead you inside, and you guys begin, you're kind of led through the labyrinth of Spade HQ to a big sort of industrial elevator, and the two guards are kind of escorting you down the elevator to the shipyard. And you guys, you guys are going past the public shipyard down to the like commercial yard, which is mostly just spade ships. But yeah, it's you guys have a few minutes as it's a lengthy elevator ride.
With spade people.
With spade people.
Yeah, sure.
So, curious what you were all wanting to outfit the ship with.
Yoga mats.
What?
We need to have a sparring match up on the observation deck. Training grounds.
I agree.
Keep fit.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want one of the...
Gyms.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the base could be that.
No. We need it in the upper observation deck.
Would there be room enough there?
Of course there would. Just put down a couple floor mats. That's all we need.
I was thinking maybe we could have like some bars, some.
Oh, we can set that up too. We can set it up. It'll fit.
A square is roughly 5 feet.
Oh yeah.
Just
Sure.
That's it. That's all we need.
You can't work out muscles.
Yeah, but it's all training. It's training. It's not muscles. It's training.
Reflexes.
Checking his suit's combat readiness. You know, calculations, making sure.
See, everybody else.
I don't really get all the robotic stuff.
Everyone else understands.
Just upgrade your suit.
Oh, but it's in the mind. It's a mind game.
Alright. So I can have, if you're using the observation deck, I can use the base for what I want.
Well,
One of them.
Well, yeah, one of them.
What do you want?
Well, I was hoping that I could work on some engineering in one of them.
We definitely need a tech lab.
Yeah, so that could be one of them.
Yep.
And then probably be good to, well, it depends what other options there are, but a mech bay, or a med bay would be very helpful as well.
We'll definitely need some sort of workbench though as well. I don't know if that would fit in the tech lab or not, but if not there, then we can definitely like rig up something in the cargo bay perhaps.
I think having a mech bay with a tech lab would be good because then we could move around more easily between projects.
That's true. That's true.
Work together on stuff.
Were you able to put both of those things in the same bay? Like a tech lab and a sort of repair area?
What do you mean by tech lab?
Like a place to tinker with electronic-y, gadgety things.
Sounds like a mech bay.
Sure, I'll take it.
We'll see what the actual options are.
All right.
That was a convenient elevator up.
It was
So-
just loading the world.
So you guys finally stop, and they let you out.
There's so much texture popping down here.
Oh god.
What's this, Mass Effect 1?
See what happens when you get a bunch of game design nerds in a room together.
You stop on deck 22, and you hop out. And,
Oh, that's on the spindles.
You're led around, and there's many windows around here where you're actually able to see. This area is very busy, unlike the abandoned upper decks where there's no industry going on. Here, there's all kinds of things. There's tons of welding and just crates of things being moved around, and there's little forklift type things being driven around. Droids and organics of all kinds busy working down here. You get led through the busy walkways, kind of having to step out of the way of a few industrial machines.
Is this the same deck that we brought to you before when we were shown the ship?
No.
Okay.
And you can see most of the ships, probably 75% of them, are painted with spade colors that you can see that are docked down here in the spindles. And you guys start working your way out along the way, and as you get towards the end, you see one ship that is not painted spade colors at all.
Good.
Which is just a basically fresh off the factory gray model. And as you approach, a young Vatican woman approaches, and you can see she's dressed not too dissimilarly from Tarva, and has overalls on, has a very functional looking tech tool, and some welder a welder face shield flipped up, and she approaches and says, "Ah, yes. Hello. You must be the group that Stephenson said should get the new Siberia."
That is correct.
Well, my name's Petra. I'm one of the engineers here. I'll be doing engineering for your vessel. Shall we go take a look?
Please.
I'd love to.
Absolutely.
All right, just this way, and leads you, just another 20 feet or so, and you guys enter onto deck 1 of the unnamed Siberia, and
We also have to choose colors, potentially.
so you guys basically enter through here, and you're now in the ship, and you look around. You can see that it's finished to be sure. Like the outside, it is definitely seaworthy. You're standing inside it without any spacesuits on, but you can see things like the mini elevator to go down to the turret. It still basically has it's like furniture that still needs to be put together, basically.
The
there's
IKEA boxes are there.
yeah, there's still things that need to be built on it.
Got it.
Yeah, likewise, all of the tractor beam consoles have not been installed yet. You can just see empty sort of
Little hubs.
slots where the consoles would be installed. And there's about half a dozen droids walking around doing welding and carrying things around.
Sorry, I'm just excited.
Yes, still has that new ship smell, indeed. If you'd like to look around, go ahead. I'll just be down here overseeing some of the work, and or we can take a look around if you're ready right now. Not sure if you know what you'd like, or
Let's hear our options as we walk around. How about it?
yes, very well. Back here in the cargo bay, not a ton of options. You're going to be filling it with cargo, hopefully. This will be left open for the. Now, I will say Stephenson has allowed for a basic loadout here. Should you wish to exceed the loadout that he's prepared to give you with the ship for free, then we can just subtract that from the 500k that you are to be allotted.
There it is. There it is.
So, in
Spend all the money.
so in the cargo bay here, you can see there are 3 potential opportunities for tractor beams here. You can choose one of these slots where we will install one. If you'd like any additional ones, that will be 30k per beam installation.
Imagine we'd need more than one.
A tractor beam is worth less than a silencer for a rifle?
They can charge whatever they want, man.
God
And a
damn.
suit of armor.
Okay. I'm keeping track of the cost of different things
Okay.
because it's important for me.
Yes, so you have that. Likewise, you'll notice on the floor here, this is one of the turret access hatches here. There are 2 turret accesses. They come with the ship, of course. And Stephenson has allowed for you to choose one turret that you'd like. If you would like us to install a second turret for you, that will be 160k.
These turrets be rigged up to the control systems in the bridge? Or do they have to be manned?
Well, that would lead us to some other options as well for remote firing of the turrets without any degradation in the targeting capabilities.
Right.
Yes. Here are the 2 bays. Now these bays are going to be left empty. They're meant for you to customize as you please throughout your mercenary work or whatever it is you do. I don't care. Don't tell me. So these will be left empty for the time being. If you would like to equip them ahead of time, we do of course have some loadouts that we've put in our some of our other ships that I've had to rig up. We could hook you up with let's see, which types of modules do we have? We have a medical bay and we have a mechanical bay. And we could also just rip out the walls and convert it into extra storage. So extra storage would just be 10k. The mech bay will be 100k, and the medical bay will also be 100.
No freebies there?
Correct, yes.
Are there any other
Figured.
bays that you would recommend? We were talking about those, but we weren't sure if there were other ones that were available. Just
well,
in the basic loadouts, of course.
indeed, that would be all that I could install. Those are the only things that we have the spare components to install here.
Okay.
But I do know in some specialized ships, the bays have been rigged. For example, recently we've had to install several brigs in those bays there. We've also made a weapons shop as well, which is meant for the testing and specifically engineering of weapons. Of course, in a mech bay, they're very general purpose, but the more specialized of a bay that you put in, then the more the easier it is, and the more you can do in its particular area.
I'm just noting down the different modulars so we can think of it later.
Cool.
In the cargo bay, is there anything, maybe a mag strip that locks down in cargo already in there, or are we going to need to get something like that added in?
Oh, I see. Yes, we'd be basically taking out some of the extra walls to make some more space, and then we'd be putting the mag locks down on the ground. So
sorry, in the cargo bay there already is mag locks.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about the little one.
Okay.
Okay.
Good to know. Excellent.
All right. Let's see. Yes, and then leading right through this way. Don't worry, we'll have this airlock finished probably by the end of the day today. Yes, and here is a bay where you can basically pick a skiff of your choosing. Of course, we don't have a spare skiff for you to be provided, but once you choose some sort of skiff that you'd like, then you can certainly equip it here. It's just, yes. Let's see.
That's going to be really nice, though.
If you would like a skiff, we do have a couple. I must admit they're not the nicest, but one is a salvaging skiff for one person. It helps with cutting and then tractor beaming cargo into your cargo hold. And then the other one is just simply a scout. It has a slightly lower signature and a slightly improved sensor suite.
Okay.
But it's mostly just a one-person scout.
I'd be typing this all in the tech tool as well.
Okay, cool. And you can see on the sides here, right by the landing gear, is room to install fixed weapon placements. Yes, on either side there.
Okay.
And we'll once I've shown you all the weapon slots, then we can discuss all the weapon options you have.
What are the skiffs going for?
Yes, the salvaging skiff will be 140, and the scout skiff is 100.
It's not bad.
And so, any questions so far?
Do you still get excited when you get to outfit ships?
I do, indeed. It's that's why I spend my days down here, just ship after ship, loading them all. I can see you must enjoy this as well.
Yes, well, I've trained to be an engineer, so outfitting a ship is easily one of the most fun things you can do.
Indeed, it's something to be able to look at your hard work once it's done and see it function. Indeed. Okay, excellent. Well, shall we head to deck 2? So you get up to the next deck, and she turns the corner to the right and leads you into the engineering area. So this is the sort of engineering region of the ship. Of course, this ship will come with the standard life supports, dual generators, FTL, shift drive, by the way. All the standard things that you'll need to run this, shields as well. And then down the hall to either side are the engine nacelles. They're just pretty standard. These are the rotating ones that will give you that extra bit of maneuverability for an otherwise rather clunky ship. So, yes, not too much that I'd be able to change in this area of the ship. That's a much more involved upgrade that I won't have time for in the 2 days that I've been given.
Of course. Will the life support be sufficient for myself and my quarantine friend?
Yes.
My Sozen friend?
Yes, indeed. It will. And we can customize your rooms slightly as well for that.
Excellent.
But yes, this ship, as long as the generators are running, will have life support to sustain you virtually indefinitely, although you may be wanting to add some new materials for your food stocks. Anyhow, let's head to the bridge. So, these are 8 escape pods here. They come standard with the ship. They're quite durable. Room for 1. You can pack 2 inside. However, if they do land on a planet or some sort of body, then it's very likely that whoever is not the one who's strapped in will have difficulty landing. But there are 8 here. On either side are some ready rooms, and in one of them we can put a hollow table for you to do some planning and some seats and things. You just need to let us know which one you'd like to have that in. The other room is free for you to configure as you wish. Then up here's the bridge, and as you get to the bridge, you see that they've installed 4 of the 6 consoles up here, and but despite them not equipping everything quite well, the seats up here look like some nice seats to be in for a long cruise. And there's also a great view from up here. You can see up above quite a bit, and you can basically all the way in front of you down to the floor is glass. Below you is the skiff bay, though. You can't see down farther. So yes. Here's the bridge. Not a ton that I have on hand to do for the bridge for you. But yes, there's that. And here she says, pointing to those 2 square blocks kind of jutting into the meeting rooms there.
Yeah. Are the fixed weapons?
Indeed, these are 2 more of the fixed weapon points. So currently there are 4 easily configurable weapon hard points for you, and we are happy to install 2 of them with any of the weapon choices that you'd like.
Okay.
They both have roughly the same ability to target. So it's more so based on if the weapon should need to be repaired or some such thing, where you'd like it to be. Yes.
Yeah. So this one would be harder for me to repair in combat.
Right.
Technically, unless I was down in the skiff bay.
Right.
Correct. And also, if the skiff bay is launching the skiff, then that area will be depressurized until it's finished launching or finished docking, and then it takes a second to repressurize.
Okay.
However, if the skiff bay is always depressurized, then that can be better for certain weapons as well.
Okay.
Because basically it can vent more easily, right?
Right.
So yeah. So yes, and we'll once I show you the other turret location, we can talk about weapons and such.
Okay.
So yes.
So we're looking at 2 turrets and 4 fixed weapon slots, and potentially 3 tractor beam locations. We could, of course, do another tractor beam at a different location if we wanted a more powerful one. As we're walking up.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys get up there, and this is the galley. You can see we've already welded the table and the chairs in here. We're working on getting some more food printers, and over here are your bathroom, shower accommodations on the right-hand side. And here, she says, pointing up to the ceiling, this is where the other turret escalator or elevator is. So you simply just press this button, and then you see basically some sort of thin telescoping rods come from this small metal platform, and you can basically walk onto it, go up, and then you're kind of up in the turret area. But in the meantime, it's kind of out of the way up in the ceiling. Yes, and then here we have 8 living quarters, which we can make some modifications for. If you choose which room you'd like, then we can modify them towards your species. And in the back we have
Dibs on this one. And I go to that one.
Okay.
I'll take back left.
I'll take back right.
Carmine's not here. Fine. Back left. Back right. Okay.
And of course, it
I'll
looks
let
like
him
there's
pick.
only the 4 of you. We can.
5. If
Oh right,
yeah,
because
yeah,
he's with you.
yeah, he's
Okay,
actually
right.
with us.
Right. I bet. Having trouble sorting out which imaginary characters are in the place and which ones we're just pretending are in the place. Right, I see there's just the 5 of you, and there are 8 rooms here. So, of course, if you'd like, we can knock some of these walls out and make a spare room or some such thing like this.
I want to turn one into a brig. Is that a thing I can do with these rooms?
Are you asking her?
Yeah.
You're mentioning that, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, well, of course you could alter the locks so it can only lock from the outside.
Perfect.
I'm not sure if I'd want a prisoner right next to where I sleep, but that's of
Might
course
be
entirely up to you.
It's part of the profession.
I see. You could also knock out the 2 back rooms and make a larger area towards the observation deck, or really any sort of configuration. But yes, we can also install bunks, so 2 people can share 1 room if you need to house more people. And the knocking out of those walls and adjusting the personal quarters for your species is all included.
Excellent.
So now shall we discuss weapons options for the ship?
yes.
So we have a handful of weapons, and again, these are, I'm sure you'll be able to find a much broader variety as you travel around. Perhaps even here in the station there might be some. But these are what we have available to get you started. So we have some prowlers. The prowlers are they are plasma throwers that have a short range, but they do massive damage versus armor. These are commonly used either towards the end of a long firefight, once an opponent's ship's shields have been knocked out, in order to melt through their armor at close range. Also, these see a lot of use in ambush vessels that sneak up before a ship has their shields activated to hose them with plasma before they get a chance. Once these prowlers are fired, they do have a substantial reload time. They need to recharge and spool up more plasma. Yes, the prowlers have been specifically modified to be have a lower signature than most plasma weapons of their type. Until after they've been fired, then you will be glowing like a Christmas tree on the signature. The cooldown of being able to fire them would be reduced somewhat if you did put them down in the skiff bay where they can vent a little more quickly. That's the prowler. We also have a...
Would that be for 2 prowlers if we were choosing that, or?
So this would be one. This is one weapon that you can put in any of those 4 hard points.
Okay. We could potentially do 2 different weapons as well.
Yeah.
In different hard points, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, you could have 4 different weapons if you like. Whether that's advisable or not, I will leave up to the experts. I just build the ships. Let's see. Next, we have a what our boys refer to as the jarhead. So what this is it is an explosive lance weapon that can also be modified to have an infantry capacity as well.
So you could shoot that into a ship with people and board the ship.
Yes. Now, with your vessel, it looks like there would only be room to... Well, perhaps if you installed one down in the skiff bay, you might be able to fit 3 people in there. But safely, I would say you can fit 2 infantry. And essentially, you fire the lance, and obviously it's meant to hit much larger ships or stations. You're not going to be in a dogfight trying to spear them with a lance. But yes, you can fire your lance. It is designed to hit the ship, explode, breach a hole, and then expel the infantry inside.
Can it shoot through shields?
It can, yes.
Snap. Some boarding action going.
That's pretty nice.
We could be pirates, boys. Yar.
It sounds really cool, but those 2 people could potentially die as well.
Straight up.
As
All
easily.
we have to do is get 2 of them.
You just miss. There goes
and
half the
one
party.
person stays on the ship.
Yeah.
And optionally, you could also attach a tether to this.
That's what they launched at the Lady Luck.
Right.
Yes. The tether does, however, reduce the infantry capacity by 1. So, yep. So that's the jarhead. We also have a. Let's see. also have an electromagnetic cannon, and also or an MC, as you may have heard of it before. It's medium range. It shoots timed electromagnetic pulse weapons, and it affects a small AOE. So useful for burning through shields eventually, or creating small temporary holes in otherwise strong shields in order to shoot other weapons through. So yes, medium range with a slower sort of rate of fire. That's the MC. We also have a carronade, which is essentially a short-range, very large caliber cannon, which shoots projectile weaponry, great at penetrating through shields, and it's not terribly effective against armor, but it does do a good amount of damage. It's short range, however, as well.
For the record, what is short versus medium and long? Roundabouts.
Yes.
Like, is it like a shotgun style, or is it like pistol?
Do we have to be like saying hi through the window?
I feel like we probably want to do more like a set of a dual set of standard guns or something, maybe.
We could go for shotgun setup and just have Carmine pilot crazy close to people.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of having the MC and then plasma aim.
Yeah.
Or potentially.
Or shotgun and then plasma people.
So short range is 2,500 meters.
Okay.
Okay. Medium range is 10,000 meters, 10 kilometers, and then long is up to 50 kilometers, and then there's far, which is up to 100, and then there's distant, which is up to 500. So
We probably want to do short, medium to start.
What's one of the squares on the ship grid?
5 feet.
On the ship grid?
Oh, sorry. On the well, yeah, I haven't really figured that out yet because the conversions aren't great. So if you are, probably it'll be if you're touching or you're one away. That will probably. I haven't really worked this out. Oh wait, no, I did work this out. Okay. Oh no, these ranges were fucked though. Well, what I have here, but I think it's wrong, is that short range is, that's incorrect. It's gotta be. Is 5 hexes. Medium is 8 hexes. Long is 12 hexes. It's probably gonna be shrunk in slightly.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's and our movement, like each round would be dependent on just our speed or whatnot.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So that's the carronade. We also have the flechette, which is also another short-range weapon. This one is mostly meant to wear down shields and break them out. Doesn't do very much damage, but it does a lot of damage to shields. So it's also medium to short range for that. So, for example, you might use a flechette to get rid of the shield so you could then use a prowler. We have the railgun, which excels at long ranges.
I want a railgun. I don't care what the other options are.
Keep in mind we could get like one turret as well.
Get a railgun turret.
Oh, so one of these would be on a turret.
Well,
Kinda.
we could potentially. I don't know if the turrets would work like that or not. But.
How do the turrets work?
Yes. So you can equip any of these systems can be equipped to a turret. Generally, you just have to think about which weapon systems you'll be able to line up and which weapon systems you will need to be able to fire in all directions in short notice.
Yeah.
Typically, the longer range of the weapon, it's typically a fixed weapon. So, for example, railguns are generally fixed because once you're in short range, they'll be on all sides of you, and you'll need to track them quickly.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
also weapons that have the longer the cooldown or reload time of the weapon also generally means fixed because you'll line up the shots to hit with it specifically. Whereas a turret is typically more for generally the shorter range, more rapid fire would be turret. But you can equip whichever you like.
I want a railgun.
Do railgun rounds go through shields?
We
I
actually
don't even
haven't.
think he's explained anything about it. I just said I want one.
Yes, let's see.
Can I shoot a railgun at a prowler shot and have it do an explosion?
A what?
Shoot a railgun shot at a
Just tell us about the
prowler.
railgun.
Yes, so railguns deal kinetic damage, of course. They're basically propelling a metal slug at high speed using magnets down a rail. Long range and very high kinetic damage. So they don't bypass shields, but they will do a significant amount of damage to shields. They are a bit tricky to hit with and generally only hit at long ranges, at least for this type of railgun.
Are they quick to fire or slower reload?
There's a charge time in between rounds.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. We also have
4 railguns, no med bay.
I like it, man.
Just take him out from afar.
Salvage ship.
Yes. See? That's genius. It solves all of our problems for the future. If we come across someone, we blow the F out of them with the railguns.
Take their
Then
med
we
bay.
take their everything.
And go sell it and get more railguns.
Then we get
6.
a railgun skiff, which is just actually a
Another
railgun
railgun.
that you ride around in.
Well, if we leave the cargo bay empty, room for more railguns.
Just
Oh my
more
God, you
railguns.
lower the door and
I
it's just a
would
big railgun.
Yes. I would like to make it so that our propulsion system is a railgun.
That, yes, okay. I like the ideas being generated here.
I actually like the strategy. It's a good strategy.
All right. What else we got? Sorry.
Okay. We also have chain guns that we can use. They're effective out to medium range. They are pretty good against shields, however, kind of poor against armor. Likewise, we have a thermal repeater, which is effective out to medium or long range, and it deals thermal damage, so very poor against shields, but they're okay against armor. They're moderate against armor. Both of the chain guns and the
Thermal repeater.
yes,
They're the
chain guns
generics.
and the thermal repeaters, as you can imagine, have high rates of fire.
Yeah.
Turret weapons.
Well, they're. Yeah. Because Prowler takes longer recharge, so you wouldn't do
Okay.
that.
So many good weapons.
Check here.
You mean railgun?
Yeah, I've heard one.
So many good railguns.
So many good railguns. We also have a plasma cannon, which is effective out to long range. Does very good plasma damage, but again, not very effective against shields.
Okay, that's basically it.
That's basically a plasma
railgun.
railgun.
So we have a railgun and a plasma cannon.
Variant.
Easy. Easy fun.
Shoot one- shoot-
Weapon triangle.
Yeah.
What's,
Shoot one, then the other.
What's the projectile speed on the plasma cannon?
It's very nearly it. Like the railgun, it is a little bit difficult to hit with because at long range most things are. In fact, it's a little bit harder to hit with this than the railgun. But yeah, so if you basically just the to hit will be modified for like the long range, like things like that, right?
Sure.
So I don't want to be tracking projectiles around the map. However, as I say that, there's also the ability to equip a
Rocket.
torpedo tube in one of these weapon slots as well. Will deal kinetic damage. It locks on and then tracks its target with as much speed as it can muster. They can be outrun by smaller ships more easily, but yes. So that.
What's the range on that?
Well, torpedoes are generally want to be in medium range. You can lock on to something at longer range, but they can only guide themselves for so long. If they're very easy to dodge, the farther away you are. And positioning is also important for them. If you're about to pass each other, then it can be difficult to hit. That's about it. Yes. So I think I've covered all of our options here. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think you've given us quite a bit to think about.
Indeed, yes.
This is all very exciting.
I'll give you a moment just to soak it in. And actually, I'm receiving some messages from my workers. If the group of you just want to discuss up here for a moment, I just need to go check on something below deck. I'll be right back.
Of course.
Okay.
She bustles off downstairs.
Don't have to necessarily do it in character. If we were to add extra weapons, so we're only getting one for free, right?
We're getting
one
two.
turret and two.
And two
fixed.
fixed.
One turret, or one tractor beam.
One turret, one tractor beam,
one turret,
Two
two
fixed.
fixed.
So if we
Okay.
were to get more than, did we get the cost of
You're not.
extras? Okay.
No. Well, one extra turret was 160k.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
turret was expensive.
probably something similar-ish to that then.
I'm guessing the fixed ones would be slightly cheaper, but I don't know anything
Yeah.
about this.
So,
Maybe.
we don't have any money outside of the 500.
Literally none.
Yeah,
I-
that's
or
why,
like-
that's
like-
why they gave us, like, that was their whole plot.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is still pretty dope because it lets us do some customization.
Okay with it.
So,
Just before we get into it too much, we should leave at least something in case we need it wherever we head to. So like if we have 500,000 or whatever, we should leave like 25, 50,000 at least, just in case we need it.
okay. So, I think we will need both the mech bay and the med bay.
Yeah, I
Agreed.
mean, we should do that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
So-
we need to have a home base where we
Die.
can totally recharge.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
yeah.
Right now, there's 8 crew quarters. I'm just thinking of a cheap thing right now as well. So, potentially, there's 5 of us. We might have we might get people of the Lady Luck, or they could just get on their own ship and part ways.
I would imagine they're probably not going to hang out with us anymore.
Yeah.
But we can get people later on.
Yeah. I mean, do we need any extra space necessarily? We might as well just keep the rooms.
Yeah, well, my thought was just like you could potentially break open these two, and then you guys wanted the yoga mat, like sparring little area.
Yeah, we have it. It's up here.
Yeah, but that's like 10 feet. You could expand that out to be like a pretty sizable area, even if it's just getting rid of one of these.
Do we need though? Because I think we could use the rest of the rooms for more important things. Sparring room, we wouldn't need more than like 10 by like 30 feet. I think that's more than enough.
Or maybe we could just make one of the rooms into a sparring room as well.
Oh yeah, could do that. Yeah.
I mean, it's 10 by 15 ish.
10 by. Well, we got 5, 10.
Part of it too is like you guys will probably be doing that more in the cargo bay, I'd think, if there's space, just because there's tons more space there.
Potentially.
We could attach.
Yeah,
them.
10 by 15 is essentially slightly larger than a bedroom, I suppose.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's pretty
Well,
tiny.
I guess depending on the bedroom.
Yeah, I mean we could just set up a gym area in the cargo bay, I guess.
I think that would be a bit nicer as well.
Sure. Okay. I do think though that having like some sort of lockup or brig or something would be important if we capture anyone, or like, you know, I definitely want to try to haul in some bounties. I don't know about you guys, but
Why don't we take out one of the rooms and we have them just build like a bigger brig area?
But this is the rare observation deck.
Yeah.
yeah, we would probably just combine 2 of the rooms.
Do we need the observation deck that badly?
Might be handy.
Yeah.
If you're
Plus
wanting it to be like more of a brig style thing, I'd say you should probably like be here and have the brig here so that you're right next to it.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I think. Yeah.
So
I mean, well, give me the end.
well, I don't want to be next to our prisoner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah.
Essentially, the cost of having the brig would be that.
Okay.
Then we talked Percy out of combining 3 of these things into one room for himself.
Correct.
Important.
Yeah.
Well, he can't combine 3. It'll only be either.
Yeah. Don't question how he would.
We don't need washrooms.
You see,
don't need
if
the
we put
kitchen.
bunk beds in there, all 5 of you can be in one room with the brig person, and I'll take this entire half.
And then I'll make a bar.
And then we just punch him.
Yeah.
Need a recovery room for him.
Medbay.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's why we're getting it.
Jeez, no, so I can heal you. Yeah, I'll be grabbing one of those too. I'm gonna let Piercy grab whichever one. He'd probably have grabbed whatever one first if he were here, and try to convince us otherwise.
Sounds good.
So, I'm just gonna assume that we say for our specific rooms, we want them situated a certain way. He might try and do a bar or something. I don't know if that's whatever, but
I want a weapon bench in my room.
we can give our wish lists at a later time.
Yeah.
And then for the unused rooms, one of them next to you at the end here, we'd want to change to a brig if we could.
Question, or, well,
And
point
then probably do bunk beds in the other ones, I think.
Sure.
for anyone who wants to.
Yeah,
see.
because
Yeah,
if we
since
get...
extra people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if we make this the brig, like right next to the observation deck, it might be easy for someone to escape as well, whoever's like in there.
How'd they escape?
Like if there were windows here or something.
Into the vacuum of space and
Yeah.
die?
No, so I'm guessing this would be like a glass kind of a thing, and then this would exit out to like the pathway. So this guy has 2 ways to the pathway compared to a room over here, which would only be 1 way to the pathway.
I mean,
Is all I'm saying.
Or you just have the front
I'd just be
Rail
hesitant
beams
about having
Not have any windows.
a
over
brig
there.
when it's not like one of those bay styles, for the reason that someone could hack through a door or just break down a door and run away. Even if it's like, even if we're in space, they could do something like that.
Or just sabotage the whole ship, right?
Something like that. That's why there's specifically the.
Let's just not take prisoners.
Well, no, we need to take prisoners sometimes.
Sometimes the bounties say dead or alive.
I mean, the brig might be where you throw someone that's just a bit too drunk or something and wants to fly the ship.
I like that idea as well.
Well, I mean, our bays are already accounted for.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because I don't want to give up either of these bays.
Yeah.
Other than that, so one turret, one tractor beam, and we have 2 straight on. I'd argue that we could potentially make more use out of a salvage skiff as
Weapons?
well.
No, for the skiff. So it'll either be a salvage one or just a scout one.
but how are we doing for money?
Yeah,
we have
what's that put us in?
300. Because that's just with the bays, and there's no cost to rearranging these somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I think we could do is, if we go for the salvage skiff, then that gives us a vector to earn a bunch of money in the short term that can then buy the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, and I'd be able to salvage stuff and use it to repair and build some new stuff potentially as well.
Yep.
So the salvage ship would help us in like fine motor skills salvaging, right? Because if it's a big thing, then we can just use the cargo bay and
You can
the.
pull in stuff in the
Potentially,
cargo
That would be
bay.
like smaller things, or like if you want to like go explore a bit and then haul something.
Yeah, I mean, I think he said that it has like cutting.
Yeah,
tools
so
and
you
stuff,
could
right?
take like
Yeah,
take the big
important
ship that's bigger than
Yeah.
the door here, cut it up into pieces and pull it inside. For
Yeah,
salvage.
I think that gives us a lot of utility
Yeah.
that we wouldn't have
I
otherwise.
agree.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted this ship over the smaller, faster, like sneakier one.
Right. Makes sense.
Typically, the way that salvage is done, as you saw with Sal, who is a salvage droid, the salvagers EVA, so they put on a spacesuit and then they go out into space and fly around with some thrusters and things, and use saws or cutting tools or whatever they have to in order to free the salvage from whatever they're cutting. And so like a team of them, would go out there, and depending on how much cutting, they might spend a whole day cutting stuff free, or maybe they're just looking for the valuable parts and just kind of scrapping certain things, or maybe they have a very specific black box or something that they're trying to get off of the ship. And they go in, do some of that, come out. This ship will have, it'll have a more heavy-duty cutter on it, but there probably would be scenarios where you would still need someone to EVA because the ship will only be able to fit into so small of places.
Sure.
But it'll be good for cutting through the heavier things that infantry would have a more difficult time. I think in this extreme scenario, it could be used to breach. It will have a saw essentially on the front of it. And it'll have a little tractor beam to basically help nudge the things towards your ship's tractor beam.
Yeah. So I think that would be pretty useful.
I mean, the only other option is weapons, right?
Other option is weapons. It would be or additional tractor beams as well.
Yeah, I think if we got the cargo skiff and one tractor beam, we shouldn't need more than that.
Yeah,
At least not to start off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we could get more of those. Depends how much combat we'd be looking at. Because we could also use one of the turrets as like a tractor beam, a more high-powered one or something too, if we're focused on salvage. But I know we're probably going to be doing something a bit more combat-oriented as well.
Also, sometimes combat isn't something you look for. You just like run
just
into it,
happens.
right?
Yeah.
Like salvaging is something we can choose, but combat could be like a shorter notice thing.
Ah, pirates.
Yeah.
It's alright. We'll just say hi and.
We don't need to announce ourselves. It's okay.
Yeah. So, if
She has come back upstairs. She
Yeah.
sees you're talking. She's just kind of hanging off to the side. If you have any questions, just feel free to let me know.
We should ask her about the weapons, how much they cost and stuff like that.
How much do the weapons cost?
Okay.
I was waiting for you to say that.
The starting at the bottom, the carronade is 80. Okay, it's kind of fallen out of style lately. The
Is
following
80, you said?
80. 80.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of the following are 100. We have the chain gun, the thermal repeater, the plasma cannon, the MC, and the flechette. At 150 is the prowler. 180 is a torpedo. The railgun is 200, and the jarhead is 250.
Torpedo was 180.
Note: don't
Correct. Yes.
like hype up one of the weapon types before he tells you the
Ah, but, see,
prices.
but we get 2 for free. We get 2 for free. So we choose the expensive ones for free.
That's true.
And then we sell one of them if you want something.
Oh, there we go. Can you give us one of them for free and we give it back to you?
Let's get 3 jar heads, guys.
I don't think that's how it
No.
works.
Let's get
No.
3 jar heads.
All right. We're still just deciding
Also,
on.
the I'm not sure if I made this clear, but the jarhead won't work in
Yeah.
a turret slot. It has to be one of the
Mhm.
hardpoints.
Okay, one
Same
person.
thing with the
Figured.
torpedo bay. Yes.
Well,
It's important to think of, like, if we're trying to escape from people, then we would not be able to use any of the forward-mounted guns. So
Mhm.
things that we want to be shooting behind us would have to be on the turret.
So, this vessel has these rotating engine cells, which
you could fly backward.
they allow you to. They basically can rotate in 360 degrees, which allows for
Neat.
a lot of crazy maneuvers. So it can be flown backwards. This will make it much more difficult for the pilot. But
We trust
You
him.
can handle it, right?
yeah, so just saying. So like, definitely you wouldn't be driving around the galaxy backwards, just shooting
Practice.
backwards all the time. But like, yeah, you can still maintain a decent speed. It'll just be more difficult for maneuvering and stuff.
But then
So
we can call ourselves the backwards bandits.
Shoot railguns backwards at people.
So just an extra thought I wanted to throw.
Okay.
How much surplus money do they have?
Another thought is
We're at
that
300
port side, which is the left side of the ship, is typically where you will be docked if you're ever docked with another ship or etc. So that sometimes goes into the design of the ship. For example, your computer suite, on the engineering area, that is on the starboard side, which is facing out because that's where your sensor suite is. So you don't want to be sensing into a space station. You want to be sensing, out space around the station. And it's also for communications. And your little port is on the port side. So if you want to So sometimes it's better to have the tractor beam on the starboard side or like the rear side. Your largest door is in the back, by the way.
Yeah. Which is where we'd probably have the tractor.
Yeah, I think we'd for sure put the tractor beam there.
Yeah. So if you think you're going to be docked and using the tractor beam to move cargo around, then obviously you don't want it on the dock side because you'll be right up next to a station. There won't be any room to maneuver there.
Yeah, I'd say out the back.
Yeah, and you may also you can also think about that for you don't have any side fixed weapons placements, but that's
If we did.
another thing to think about.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Broadside people all day.
So when you're up to a station or when you're up next to another ship, you'll always have your left side to them. So that's how they're all designed.
Okay.
The fixed whatever gun we have, weapon, would have like an arc of fire, or would just be
Yes, it'll be able to shoot in the front.
okay.
Which is
Okay, so it'll be able to shoot like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, think about the hexagon grid.
Yeah.
It'll be able to shoot. So the side arcs are much wider and bigger and better. You don't currently have any hard points on the sides right now. Not to say you couldn't ever install some hard points on the sides. The front and the rear are narrow. The sides are wide, and the turrets can hit anywhere.
Cool. And regardless of whether it's on the port or the starboard side, if it's a front-facing weapon, then the
They'll
cone
have
would
the same
be.
forward arc.
Cool.
Correct.
Now we didn't hear about any like system style upgrades, so like better engines, better shields, better sensor suites, anything like that.
Yeah. So she mentioned that those types of basically they have a stock Siberia right now, which when these ships come stock, they come with all those things. So she has the time and the spare parts from having. Because she just sits around and builds Siberias and Saharas all day long, every day. So they've got lots of these parts. Around.
dreams.
So they have lots of those which they're willing to outfit you with, but upgrading like the engines or the shield, that sort of thing, will take more time than she has, and also
Right.
they don't have the spare systems.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yes, those are absolutely things you can have upgraded. When you get those types of core systems upgraded, you can expect your ship to be out of commission for a while you're getting that done.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let us start with perhaps one of the easier decisions. Which room would you like to be the ready room where you'd like the hollow table installed?
Something you didn't even talk about.
I think we'd want that
Flip
on.
coin, right or left?
Sure.
I think it'd
Yes.
be better on the port side.
Think so? Why?
Because then I'm closer to the engine and the outward-facing thing. So if we're docked,
There's an engine on both sides.
so if we are docked with someone and we're taking damage, we're more likely to take damage from that side.
Right. So we would want the hollow table on the opposite side.
I don't want to have to dodge this hollow table.
Fair.
What if you're being shot from the inside, though?
Well, I'm sitting on the right, so I just have to run a little bit faster.
I don't care.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I really wanted to
Port
flip
side
the
it is.
McDonald's coin.
Go ahead,
but-
flip the coin. I don't know what side is what.
All right. We'll just say dark side is the port side.
Okay.
Port side.
Port side it is.
All right. The coin is spoken.
Are there any other 50-50 decisions we're gonna have to be making?
All right. Now, where would you like the tractor beam installed?
On the back.
In the back.
Rear. Okay.
Is it stern or aft? Or not even any of those?
Poop deck.
No, that's the top.
But it fits being at the back.
Okay. Excellent. And which turret location would you prefer to have the turret installed at? Top or bottom?
Are
I'm
you
gonna
going to
say-
spend more time in the like in the top section or the bottom section. You could also just have a charging station in the mech bay. You wouldn't actually need your own room.
Jeez, you treat him like a person.
I mean, putting it in the top if he's gonna be hanging out.
I'm gonna say the bottom because it's probably harder to hit the bottom of the ship than the top.
But are we
And
talking
we
about the
don't-
turret?
We don't want them necessarily shooting at the top because the escape pods come out of the top, and he said they protrude out of there. So if they're trying to take out our turret, they could potentially destroy our escape pods.
We might have better visual from the top. But
Is
maybe
there
not.
any real difference there?
Mechanics-wise, as far as Apathetic Space is concerned, there's not going to be much of a difference. There will be some roll maneuvers, but the top and bottom would each get the same benefits from that. If your cargo bay is absolutely packed, then like
You can't
that would
get to the
cover
bottom one.
the access to the bottom one, but it really have to be full. But that. Yeah.
If we're randomly attacked, do you think you would be more likely in one of the bays,
I would more than likely be hit.
or be in your room, which you deserve?
Great save. Probably my room. So I guess let's have it on the top
By the way, do you want to tear down a wall and split the room?
with you.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I want my independence, Dad or Mom.
All right, only take a quarter of the room. Just.
I would say yes, but we kind of need pretty different things. So
I will also add that I think currently both of us kind of do gunning, so one of us could be in the turrets, and I think one of us could be on the consoles doing gunning too from there. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
yeah, one of us has to control the front.
Yeah.
guns, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
'Cause
maybe
you'd be more operating and CPU and stuff.
maybe what would be closest to the bridge is what I'm trying to ask. Because
It's pretty
It
close.
was- yeah.
about the same.
yeah, so it's probably not a consideration, but just something.
I don't know. I don't think it makes that much of a difference.
Top it.
I would
mean-
say top, but
If you get attacked while you're sleeping, then the top one would be better.
That's fair.
Just
mhm.
trying to
Probably more likely
throw
Okay.
things out
than
there.
being randomly in the cargo bay. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
I would say the top makes more sense.
Yeah, top.
Okay.
all right.
I'm never going to sleep.
And
You can
which
sleep in the turret.
type of weapon would you like installed in this top turret?
Probably
money question.
chain gun.
Do you want chain gun or thermal repeater?
Well, the thing, the chain gun can break shields. The thermal repeater is just kind of meh all around.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
it's more likely that if we can destroy a shield of someone that's chasing us, then they're going to be less likely to continue pursuing.
Yeah, that's fair. And we can then
Yeah.
start go over the comms and be like,
Yeah.
we've got you where we want you.
We have railguns.
So the
They are
advantage.
good against
So,
what you have
yeah.
left, but doesn't matter.
So the advantage of thermal repeaters is that they have slightly more range, but damage types wise, chain guns are better because they're good against shields and bad against armor, and thermal repeaters are bad against shields and okay versus armor.
Yeah.
So it's a trade-off between range and damage type. And I agree, if we can get the shields down, then that's a good intimidation tactic.
Yeah, I think we're getting more bang for our buck with the
Oh.
chain gun.
Overall, are we trying to deck it out more for a medium range or a railgun heavy long range though?
Wait, sorry, what?
I think.
Are we trying to?
I was thinking with railguns. It was
Yeah.
Well, I think
lost.
regardless, we're gonna eventually be in some sort of close range combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And railguns would be great for if we have the advantage and we're preparing. But
Oh, well, I'm glad you agree. Let's get 2 railguns.
Jesus Christ.
Another option, I don't know if it would be better than just having a chain gun, but we could have the timed EMP things and just shoot those kind of behind us as we're going away to try and stop them in their tracks, so to speak.
That wasn't
I
one of
think
these
it has-
offers, right?
Well, you said we could put anything up there, right? Yeah.
That's a
I
good
think it has
idea.
a cool.
Was it the
down or a longer
electromagnetic
cooldown
cannon
kind of thing.
you
Mhm.
meant?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the MC is more of a chunk, 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 chunk like that.
So it'd probably be better to have the chain gun.
Okay.
But
you'll be using it.
yeah, I mean, I could see potential uses for the MC being up there as well.
And
I don't know. I think it's probably an either.
I like both ideas, but for the first one, maybe we can go for something like a chain gun.
Yeah.
Like the
We can
standard.
see how we start fighting and if we want to be
Yeah.
fighting a different way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty standard way of going, I think.
Maybe when we get the bottom one, we can get the MC for that.
so
Yeah.
chain gun
Chain gun.
on top. Very well. And have you given any thought to the 2 hard points?
I think at least one railgun. I don't know.
Do a railgun and a plasma cannon.
Well, if we do a railgun, then we do still have the chain gun to do a combo of having the other weapon, the other fixed weapon, be the armor shredder.
Yep.
And then we have the chain gun for shredding shields.
Yep.
And we can use the other fixed weapon to take out armor. And then we also have a long range weapon with the railgun.
I like that.
Yeah, so we could have the the prowler
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
prowler and a railgun.
Prowler and railgun.
So for short range, we take out shields with the chain gun and then shoot them with the prowler. And then for long range, we have a railgun.
While we are maneuvering, we can use the chain gun. When their shields are out, we can then position better, take out their armors with the prowlers, or
Yep.
maximum damage with the railgun or whatever.
Yep.
And for long range, I think railgun is kinetic, yeah. So I mean,
If
It'll
you
do
get a
high
first
damage.
shot in.
yeah, it's good against shields.
Do you think we're gonna be? I guess. I don't know what we're gonna be in. If we're gonna be like trying to shoot people down before they could get their shields up, or even if they do.
Maybe we
But I
want
think-
that option.
But I think a railgun would be good against regardless of whether
Yeah,
they have shields
let's
or
just
not.
get a railgun.
Yes.
Alright, so
You-
you'd like a
You're worn
railgun
down.
and a
What was it?
Prowler.
Prowler.
Probably, yeah.
and which hard points would you like us to install those in?
I'd say probably the 2 by the bridge, right? So that we can leave the bottom ones open for the other options.
The prowler can get a lower recharge.
Oh, right.
But that's only if the skiff door's open. I mean, if the skiff door is open, the skiff falls out, right?
Well, no, you can. So the skiff bay can be pressurized, so you can breathe in there.
Mm-hmm.
But before you launch the skiff, you need to depressurize it. So you
Oh, okay.
could have it depressurized all the time. There's an airlock between the skiff bay and the rest of the ship. If you depressurize the skiff bay, then you can vent your prowler more quickly.
So we don't have to necessarily open the the hatch for the skiff to depressurize.
Correct. You don't have to. In fact, opening that without depressurizing first could potentially cause damage to your ship and or the skiff.
Okay.
How long does it take to pressurize and depressurize the skiff bay?
It takes less than a minute.
Well, if we're not, I mean, if we're planning on using the skiff at any point, we just pressurize it.
Yeah, that's like a
We
planned
just leave it.
thing.
Yeah, we just leave it
Yeah.
depressurized all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You-
And I mean,
Down
You
there.
can certainly leave it depressurized all the time. You can get into the skiff and then close the cockpit and then fly off all without with it being depressurized.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
some of us, like,
put it in there.
you or me, we don't even need atmosphere in there at all, so.
Yeah.
yeah. So we'd want
Yeah, so we want the prowler down there.
yeah, and let's put
Preference on the side?
the prowler on the left and the railgun. Can we put that upright? upper right, right here. That one actually makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah, that one I agree makes sense.
Yeah.
But
You can McDonald's coin it.
all right.
Port is dark.
Okay, yeah. Joe is port. Nope.
Okay, so
Starboard.
both are on the starboard.
Okay.
Thanks, Eric.
The McDonald's coin of truth.
Okay. Excellent. So that's your. We'll put the hollow table in the ready room on the port side. Tractor beam in the aft of the ship. The top turret. Your turret will be on top, and it will be a chain gun. And we'll get you hooked up with a prowler and a railgun on the starboard hardpoint.
We'll see how it pays off, but you were really excited. I was excited about the ship. I picked the ship, actually.
Yes. It speaks to me on a personal level.
And our bays.
Pardon me?
The bays.
Would be the
Yes.
next
Oh,
thing.
you'd like
Yes.
bays?
We'd be looking for both the med and the mech bay.
I see. Okay, so that's 200.
Yep.
Okay. Additional.
And then the last thing would be the salvage skip.
Yep.
Yes. We would like that as well.
That would be 140, 40.
Yeah.
So 340.
160 left.
So 160.
It's pretty good. Can actually buy some stuff, maybe.
Let's just go back to the shops and just like flash the V chip at them. Money.
Use all the money and then not even anything left.
Who wants to kick us out now?
We might want to buy just. Well, it depends if the module is outfitted with like some base things.
Oh yeah.
Because we might want, like, if I'm gonna be building like a cool sniper or other stuff like that for you guys, we would need
materials
for it.
Yep, agreed.
If I'm going to be tanking hits for you guys, I'd need some good armor.
Need some armor.
Or some repairs at least.
Yeah, I can actually repair it. It just has to take.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay, very well. Any additional expenditures that you would like to make? Any other weapons or things? How would you like the rooms arranged upstairs? Have you chosen rooms?
Yeah.
Yes, we'd mentioned the possibility of having one lock from the outside.
Absolutely.
Is there a way that we can like reinforce the walls in that room as well?
We can't do that for you, but that's definitely something you could have done later.
Could it be possible to get windows on one side of the room?
All of the rooms have windows on the exteriors.
Okay.
Facing that way.
And on the rooms towards the rear, would that be facing the observation deck as well? Would there be
We
windows?
could install windows there.
Not on the brig one though, right?
No, not in the brick. This one.
Yeah.
This one. My
Okay.
wonder at the stars.
Yes. So, the brig room that Anza would like would be the far left, with his room right beside it farther in.
Do you have the names?
I have the names
Yep.
written there. I'm just.
Yep.
Then Kamir here wants the one far to the right. Calbot, if we can get his charging station in the near to the right here. Then I'll be taking this one, and Piercy will be taking
Percy
that
wants
one.
the one closest on the left, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Closest to the kitchen where the alcohol would be?
Yes. And yes.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Is there any possibility that maybe he could get like a
Don't give him
connection
ideas.
to
Don't
the
give him ideas.
kitchen from his
Like a
room?
mini fridge?
A double-sided fridge,
the
perhaps.
fridge, yeah, just has 2 doors and one's for
It just rotates.
Is there any way we could have? Were you planning on being next to me?
Yeah.
Is there any way we could have a door put in between those 2 rooms?
Of course.
I think we should do that.
Would I be able to get a security camera set up in the brig?
We won't have time to install that, but there are some cameras around already, and those shouldn't be too difficult to have installed.
I figured.
Okay. And then for the spare rooms, if it would be possible to install bunk beds into those 2.
Okay.
Just in case we're picking up more than just 2 extra passengers.
Very well. That can be done. Would you like that done in the brig as well?
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
What makes a brig different from the normal rooms then?
It locks on the other.
On the outside.
And we'll reinforce it eventually.
Yep.
Cool.
So we're putting the door there. Is there any reason why we would need one of the rooms to be bigger? Or,
I don't think so.
I mean, we can just walk out towards the galley to discuss things if we need to.
Yeah.
Potentially, we if you want to come here or there, then we could make a bigger brig as well. If you want to come to the left, then to the right.
Do you think we need the brig to be big?
I'm just throwing out
Can
questions.
already fit in 2 people.
So
which is-
1 bed will be 2 grid squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need more than.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
so. At least not for now. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And, set up for the different
Yeah, species. Yeah.
species.
Yeah. I don't know if I need some sort of liquid recycler or something.
Yeah, they're used to that. So as
Okay.
long as you guys have chosen which room you'll be in, then they'll have
Yeah.
that stuff installed there.
If at all possible, I'd like to have some extra outlets. Some like hookups kind of in the room because eventually I want to have it so that there's monitors that I can kind of hook myself up to so that he can come in and just be like, oh, fucking.
Do it, I know I was insulting you earlier out of character.
Oh no, you're a jerk and it's okay.
Yeah. But we could still potentially just knock down that wall and we already are putting in a door where I could essentially come in. No? Okay.
I have another idea.
Sorry,
Maybe-
the idea of it is messing up with my cleanliness of building.
Maybe we could make this like a game room or something.
You're already in there.
I would go on to some other room. Could be able to see a good view, play some games. I don't know.
Put like a table in there and stuff.
Or
We
a
already
table
have
like this maybe, or
We already have the ready room and stuff.
that's true.
I think for now we should leave it as it
Yeah.
is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we got a big table in the galley. We should be okay.
Yeah,
And we can always
we got the war room
customize
too.
it later.
Yeah, and the other room from the war room.
Yeah. Which we can actually do. We can put stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else would the ready rooms be used for, other than the hollow table?
I have a list of things.
We have that
Weapon storage and stuff.
So I'm just saying these out of character as just to give you guys ideas for things. Some of them have already been mentioned. So you can have you can do crew quarters. They can be common. They can be good. They can be luxurious. You can have an additional cargo hold, escape pods, guest quarters, skiff bays, shuttle bay, lifeboats. A lifeboat is different than escape pods. Escape pods basically just a lifeboat. Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. Medical bay, passenger seating if you wanted to be carting passengers around. A recreation suite, kind of like a game room, like you were saying. You can have a science lab. You can do a sealed environment to sort of, for example, to contain like some sort of alien or something like that.
Quarantine thing.
Maybe some
you could
sort
also
of black substance.
We've got the brick for that.
think about secret compartments for smuggling.
Ooh.
You have a galley, but you could have sort of an improved galley. Laboratory, workshop. You can also add other sorts of more advanced system suites, such as like an electronic warfare suite,
Excellent.
like hacking and anti-hacking. You can add anti-personnel measures, such as an interior turret, or you can add anti-personnel robots. You can have. You can put
Excuse me,
biometric
I am
locks
not a
on
robot.
things.
I am a droid.
You can have a self-destruct chamber. You can have also countermeasures. Are not something that was mentioned yet. Yeah, extra sensor suite, stuff like that.
And this is all aftermarket that we'd have to get later.
Correct. Except for the countermeasures, I have the countermeasures that are included.
It's a lot of extra, like. So that could just be like a larger room, like a larger living quarters as well, or something. If we.
The ready room down there.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can you could have that be a brig. You could like, again, it's right next to the bridge. I don't know if that's advisable, but you can.
Right
you know,
next to
you can
that
also
and the
have,
escape
like,
pods.
An armory. At some point, you'll need a place to put your like EVA suits, things like that.
Yeah, I was thinking of that actually. They're right next to the escape pods.
Hmm.
Could have your suits and
I mean, an
stuff there.
armory there would make sense to me.
Yeah.
Armory and DVA suits, like.
So yeah, I mean, you guys can, do whatever you want with that. They're willing to do some things for you, but I mean, this is just more of this is like the stock model. You
Yeah.
guys can knock out walls, and well, there are some limitations, but yeah, you guys can.
Yeah.
You can also just, if you don't want to be hauling any sort of significant cargo, you can just build shit in the cargo bay.
We could try building like a smuggling compartment or a secret stash in the cargo bay.
Oh, that's like the first place they'd check, though.
Well, would it then be the first place they would check?
I think so.
Yeah. They have this like scanners.
They had scanners too.
Gotta like put it like, behind the fridge or something, like someplace weird.
Okay. I think the EVA suits, if we're not putting it down in the cargo bay, or anything, would be an okay spot.
Actually, you know what? Putting stuff in the cargo bay underneath the mag strips. There was like kind of imagining like you press on a spot in the mag strip and it pops up. Maybe the magnets would mess with scanners or something.
Hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like
Instead of a turret. No.
like
Or turret. Just bam.
like I'd love to see that space right behind the bridge be like in like Mass Effect 2 they had like that place on the Normandy that was like you had like the weapon bench and then like the little armor area and there was like that sort of thing.
So in the cargo bay over here?
No, in the place by the bridge.
In the ready room.
In the ready room, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, we already had, or that'd be like a weapon shop module kind of thing. Would be one of the cool ones. I
Yeah.
think.
Potentially have like our EVA suits all lined up there and like weapon racks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. A lot of cool options. You're giving us a really cool thing to do.
Also, I forgot to mention countermeasures for your ship. Currently, it's going to come equipped with a flare launcher, which is fairly effective. It basically shoots off a single red hot sort of flare, which will distract thermal targeting systems, which are the most common for torpedoes and things like that. However, if you'd like to upgrade, we do have chaffs, which can be fired, which instead of sending off one bright light in another direction, will essentially spread a shower of heat signatures behind you. So instead of trying to misdirect the target, it will just sort of create a large heat signature behind you. They're much more effective, but they do also light up the as well. And then furthermore, there's another more advanced, slightly more expensive countermeasure system, which are known as mirachas, which fire off and explode similar to a chaff system, except they use essentially micro mirrors to reflect light and heat signatures, so they help to protect against laser guided systems, and they don't create as much of a signature as chaffs. So flares are coming for free. If you'd like to upgrade to chaffs, that is a 40k installment. If you'd like to upgrade to the Mirachas, that is 80k.
How quickly do they fire, or how quickly can we reuse them after using them once?
There's a small rearming time between each.
In general, do we have to be getting supplies for all of the weaponry? Okay. And
Yes, this is the plan thus far.
Okay.
I plan on
Figure that out
simplifying
later.
it and basically giving you guys just a total, like, this is how much it would cost to restock
You
everything.
don't have to buy 67 arrows.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just have like a total of how many shots we have for each weapon, basically, and you'll just be like,
Pretty much, yeah.
buy this money with
Yep.
this much. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Some of the weapons, like thermal weapons, don't require ammunition.
That's where, like,
So that's
oh,
why
yeah,
they're more
if
cost
we were
effective.
going cheap, we could have done the thermal repeater. I'd argue that we could use the chaff for countermeasures.
How much money do we have?
160.
60.
Is there anything anyone really wants to get right now?
I would love to get a drone.
Okay, that'll probably be
Drones are.
fairly costly.
I don't remember on the equipment sheet how much it was, but I think it was around 100.
Right. Do we have that equipment sheet around?
What?
Probably.
Drone.
We're-
Drone.
I don't really need anything outside of supply stuff, so
Okay.
I don't need anything as such
Hmm.
except armor or repair or meat.
Yeah, which
When
when
you're
we.
talking about a drone to like fly around outside the ship, or what?
No, like for like running around, like have a drone that can.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's one here
Familiar.
for about 12k.
Oh, 12.
Oh, 12. Oh, so okay, not
Yeah.
terribly expensive.
that's pretty cheap.
God dang, that is an expensive silencer. Holy Jesus.
Oh yeah. I would recommend the chaff just because then we have better countermeasures than.
So
some
then we would
stuff.
have the flare and the chaff, or it would be a replacement.
To be upgraded.
Yeah.
I would even recommend that we go all the way and get the laser defense system.
The Mirachas.
Yes. Does the Mirachas cover both? It gives a thermal to stop both. Okay.
So have a
Since we have
very
it,
good
because
defense.
then we have it. Yeah, we have a good defense system just off the bat. We never have to really worry about that too much.
That makes sense.
And who knows when we would be able to get that again.
Yeah. We'll probably be doing more like salvaging kind of stuff. We might do a bounty or two at the beginning, but that'd be kind of the beginning stuff I foresee us doing.
Yeah.
Yep. And so if we're attacked by pirates or something, then we should be able to get away.
Yeah.
Still leaves us 80,000.
Which we'd probably want to just save for some supplies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Get his drone. Could even probably get him armor.
Get
And we still
armor.
have.
It can be repaired too, which shouldn't cost that much if you want to
Yeah.
save money.
Wasn't it like 800 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cheap.
And I can also, especially with the mech bay, I'd be able to repair it
Yeah,
easier.
we should
yeah.
we should see how much it is to just get like some starting
Crap.
materials
Yeah.
for bays.
Mm-hmm. So I think we'd want to go with the Maracha.
Okay, excellent. We can have that installed. Excellent. Well, we'll be beginning on the work, well, immediately. We're starting now. If you do change your minds, there's a chance we might not have started on your upgrade, but we have a large crew, so we'll be starting on most of the upgrades today, as they'll take about a day to install.
Okay.
End of the day tomorrow, your ship should be ready to go.
Alright.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the help.
Also, one more thing that I forgot would be that typically we paint our ships with a drake or with a spade typical colors. Now I cannot offer you spade colors for obvious reasons, but
We
I
wouldn't
would,
take them anyway.
Right. Well, I do get bored of having the same paint designs, so I'd be willing to choose a simple tricolor scheme and a simple pattern and apply that to your vessel for you. Also, your vessel will need a name when you go to start it up, as it will need to basically have it know what its signal is.
Okay. Can we discuss and?
Of course, these, yes, we have some painting drones, and the name changes just when you do the initial startup, so that you can let me know that tomorrow, midday, and
Okay.
Alright.
Send my contact details.
okay, you get Petra's contact info as well.
Dope.
Making contacts in high places.
Okay, well, very well. These gentlemen will see you back upstairs.
These poor guards have just been sitting there.
Yeah. Well, now she's like led you guys down out of the ship. They were outside the ship the whole time.
So we're walking ahead. Piercy is going to get Petra's attention and murmur something to her, presumably without us knowing. And then we all go.
Okay. All right.
I'm just gonna
Giving him some. Yeah.
So Carmine, if you're watching this, you should put the bar in the second half of the room because you're gonna split it and get it probably twice the room. But if you don't watch this, this never happened.
Got him.
But I'm giving you free reign to do that now if you watch this.
Okay. So I think that's enough for one session, so we'll call it there. Yeah. So done doing our building. Well, not quite done with the building, but done with the planning of the building at least.
Yeah. I mean, we have everything. We just need paint, name, and I can tell you what he'd probably want.
Yep, and in the group chat, obviously you guys can discuss and
color
brainstorm
schemes.
ideas throughout the week. And yeah, so just make sure to come to the next session with colors and a name in mind. And if you have any changes to the floor plan here that you'd like, have those as well.
Okay.
But do we get shopping XP?
Yeah. Yes, you guys get. Let's see here. So yes, you guys will earn a lowly 4 experience. This
Okay.
session.
Delicious.
I will take it.
It's like potentially Carmine was actually watching at the very end.
Oh.
Did he mention
Wow.
something?
I just said, did you guys kill Percy? That some Theseus sent that in the chat, and I'm guessing that's him.
Yeah.
What time was it?
I don't actually see timestamps right now.
Okay.
Yes, he's dead.
No.
Um,
We offline, sir?
okay, so yeah, that's it. I will see you guys again in 2 weeks.
Alright.
All right.
Ready.